Hello everyone, welcome to today's video. I just want to give you guys a little bit of background as to what I'm doing. Today I'm up here targeting striper and catfish, and I want to give you a little bit more information on why I chose the spot I'm at, what kind of areas I'm fishing today, and why. So I've got my rods out already. They've been in the water just about 3 or 4 minutes now, and this is my first spot of the day. And the reason I've chosen this is if you look at the river, you'll see all kinds of log jams and things like that. Knowing the ratio of cover and structure in a body of water can help you determine what kinds of areas you should fish. But first, you got to know what the difference in those things is. So cover is stuff that's not exactly permanent. It's things that can change with either water levels, debris, trees falling over, sandbars, things like that. Anything that could be moved or shifted with changing water conditions or what have you, those things are cover. Structure is more permanent fixtures in the river, such as gravel humps, ledges, sheer cliffs, deep holes, and bends in the river like this. When I go to a body of water, choosing my fishing locations is based on what is there less of. Fish are going to key in on the areas that hold the most food, and those tend to be the areas that are less prevalent in a body of water, because those are going to concentrate the fish more in those specific locations. If you look around this river now, you can see large log jams and things like that. I got the second camera here, so hopefully you can see some of that. And this whole river system is littered with those kinds of things here, and it's because the water levels here rise and fall, rains wash debris and stuff into the water, and it creates new pieces of structure for the fish to hide on. Or new pieces of cover rather, for the fish to hide on. So I'm targeting the structure areas in the river. Right now I'm fishing in a bend. You can actually see the river turns to my right here. And right in this bend, there's a deep hole of water. And I can see a little bit of surface activity to the left and right, which tells me there's some bait fish in here or some sort of spawning fish in here making their moves. And I'm targeting those areas because there's so much cover in here that the fish are more likely to concentrate around the structure areas. So I'm going to give you guys a quick little tip on how to anchor your boat in a river like this where you have a little bit of current and you're trying to angle a certain way. So I only have one anchor off the front of the boat. I have a second anchor which I could use to pull me to one side, but I'm going to show you a much simpler way to do this. Get your front anchor off where you want it to be, in the middle of the channel, off to the side, wherever it happens to be, and then let out your line wherever however length you need. And then as you'll see, the back of my boat isn't really facing where I want. I want to be facing the exact middle of the bend of the channel here, so I can spread my rods over the entire area instead of having some kind of drifting over there. I can cast over there if I want to, but I want the back of my boat pointing directly down this channel. So instead of throwing my back anchor, which is another thing for me to have to retrieve when I leave, all you have to do is turn your motor the opposite direction of what you want to go. And what's going to happen as you do that is it provides a little more resistance for the current to push against on the rear of your boat. So as the motor turns, the current pushes into it from this side and pushes the back end of the boat to my left. So I can turn it just a little bit at a time, let the current make its adjustments, and as you'll notice, that shifted me to the left and centered me up a little more. I'm not exactly where I want to be, but I'm a lot closer than I was. If I wanted to, I can throw out my back anchor, but I can make do with this. The current will probably move me around a little bit more. It's actually doing it right now. As you can see, I'm drifting a little more to the left on the back end. And now I'm pretty much facing the center of this bend here that I wanted to be on. So let's get some lines in the water and see if we can get a fish. He's not very big, but he's on there. Oh, there's a little more to him than I thought. He might have been running at me a little bit. Might be a little flathead. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, I might be in trouble. He might just be rolled up in the line a little bit. Ow! Goodness. We got another one. Oh goodness. Wait. Don't do it. Wait. All right, this is a pretty small blue cat. We're gonna sit him right there. You can definitely see him on camera. Let me get this guy up and get him out of that brush over there. I don't think this guy's any bigger. He's probably about the same size, actually. I'm gonna drag up a little bit. Yeah, about the same size, but this one's a channel. All right, 2 at once. That is a good problem to have. Channel in the boat. Now let's get that blue. Yeah. But yeah, about the same size there. Almost exactly the same length. But this is a perfect time to do a little comparison here. So let's look at a couple of comparisons for these fish. This is a channel catfish. And what you can see, you don't want to go based on color because in some bodies of water, these guys can look almost identical. What you can tell the difference by though, look at the shape of the head. So if you'll see, this guy has a square faced mouth. The blue catfish has a square shaped mouth. This guy has more of an overbite. The channel catfish has more of an overbite, and that's because he feeds on the bottom more often. This guy feeds more in the middle water column. There's a deeper fork in the blue catfish's tail because he's a mid-water feeder. And if you'll look at the anal fin, the blue catfish is longer and straight-edged, while the channel catfish has a curved edge to it. All right, 2 nice fish. I'm happy to have caught them so quickly here. They're both fat and happy. Let's get them back in the water so they can go do things. This is a juvenile channel catfish. You can tell because he still has black spots. I know. All right, both you guys, released alive. Down they go. And we got another one. While this third fish took a rod down, we were taking in those 2, or releasing those 2. This guy's a little smaller. You can see him there. It's another channel catfish. He might pop off. Oop. We got him. Another juvenile channel catfish. A rounded anal fin, not as deep a fork in the tail. He's got some sort of little parasite on him. And that overbite. Another pretty fish. He's got some sort of little fish thing going on there. Cool. So looks like we found some fish, moved up half a degree colder water. We got on a few. Still fishing structure, not cover. So fishing a river bend. Let's get this guy back. Down he goes. All right, so what I'm doing as far as bait is I'm cutting up some very large skipjack. But I'm not using big chunks of bait. I'm cutting the fish into chunks, remove the gut pocket, and then I'm taking and splitting the chunks down the middle along the spine. I cut the spine out the way I've just got meat on one side, skin on the other, and I'm hooking through the meat into the skin, leaving plenty of hook exposed and keeping the loop free of any scales, or keeping the hook point free of any scales and keeping the loop free of any obstruction. That just helps you get a better hook set. That's more serious. Not a giant, but a fish. Probably about the same size as the first 2. Maybe slightly bigger. That guy might finally be hooked. Oh yeah, a little bit bigger guy. I actually want my net for this dude. Nicer fish. Oh. Ah, got him. Nicer fish. Yeah, that one's about 10, 12 pounds there. Oh. One good last look at him. Nice fish for the day. Happy to have caught him. Let's get him back in the water so he can go make some new fishes. Away he goes. There's a fish. Caught me napping. This feels like a good one. Nope, he just grabbed it and bolted. He ain't very big. But he is a fish. He is a blue catfish. Another decent one though. Oh. Come here, buddy. Yeah, we didn't damage your eye. Squeaking and squawking. All right, look at him. Look like another catfish grabbed him. This might be a, yeah, this is a little female. Her head's a bit narrower, that's how you can tell. Males have a slightly broader head than females do. But yeah, nice fish there. As far as the piece of structure that I'm fishing here, you can see there's an island. That island kind of splits the river here, and normally that island is exposed like that, but the last week or so it's been underwater. Yeah, fishing just on structure, just like I have been. I'm not fishing a bend here, I'm just fishing the point at the front end of this little island here. But yeah, there she is. Nice little fish. Let's get her back. Away she goes. Oh. Yep, he's still there. He just ran at us. Oh, that's a nice one. That's a good one, ladies and gentlemen. That might be a striper. That's probably the striper we were looking for. This is gonna be a fight. Yep, there he is. He's gonna jump out there. He is all tangled up, I know that. Or he was. He's a good fish. Oh yeah, he's making a mess. Oh yeah, he's swimming to all my lines over there. Oh no, he did get me up in that tree. I'm taking the boat to the fish, not the other way around. He's big. And we might not get to see him because I am pretty sure he is tangled up in this tree. Okay, well, unfortunately, we weren't able to get that fish. He got tangled up in that tree right there, and he broke the hook off. Now, he definitely had some help from that tree. It got all braided up in there and everything. He just got this line wrapped up in it. I can feel it's kind of chafed. Probably from a combination of teeth and from the tree itself. No big deal. But if you'll notice, I've got another video out where I tell you guys about some safety techniques you can use for your boat. And I used one of them here to try to recover a fish. I threw my anchor line off, but it's still got my little float on it. So I can just cruise back over. And the reason I did that is so I could get another angle of attack to try to pull it out of that tree. Which, you know, I got it out of the tree, most of my kit anyway, but not the fish, sadly. But now I can just cruise back over. Oh, pick up my anchor line, put it back on. Pull my trolling motor up. And then let my boat just kind of do its thing, drift back into place, or I can just use the motor to try to pull it back into place where I had it, which is what I'm likely to do here. But yeah, sadly that's a lost fish. That was a nice one.